Hi everyone and welcome back to Learning Power BI and Accessible Design. Today we're going to be talking about budget and total spend today. So we all know that keeping an eye on our budget progress is key to making informed project decisions. Whether you're managing a small initiative or a large-scale program, knowing how much you have spent against what is left helps you stay on track and avoid surprises. In today's tutorial, I will show you how to build a Power BI donut chart, a perfect visual for displaying proportions of a whole, making it ideal for tracking budget utilization. So we will visualize the actual cost to date and the remaining budget. And this is a simple yet effective visual and will give you an instant snapshot of your budget status, making it easy to monitor your spending at a glance. Let's have a look. So now let's have a look on my data first. I have a table with the project code, activity number, month, budget, and the spend. And now we need to create three measures. One measure with the total budget, another measure with the total spend, and another measure that is the remaining. So how much of the budget is left after spending what we spent to date. So for the budget, I'm just going to use a simple DAX. So I'm just going to use sum. And the same for the spend. And my remaining will be my budget and subtract the total spend. So now let's add the donut chart and format. So I'm going to add my spend under the values. And then I'm going to add my remaining under the values as well. So now that we have the parts that the donut chart shows, so we have the total spend and the remaining. And now we just have now to make sure that it looks more visually appealing and accessible. And let's just go to the format pane. Let's change these lines. So my spend, I want a dark blue, and my remaining some gray. And I also don't want it to have a legend, so I can switch it off. Instead of having the legend, I want to add the series label. So if I go to the detail labels, where you have the label content, I want to select all detail labels. So it's going to include the name of the series, the total, and then also the percentage. I also don't want to have I need to change my measure name, just make it look a little bit better. So I'm going to the values. I'm going to call it spend and remain. There we go. And also you can see here, the total spend says 3 million and there is this percentage with 2 decimals, and the remaining is another 3 millions with a larger percentage. So that's because we are not using any decimals. So let's change that. So if you go to the details, under the values, I want 1 decimal place. And the percentage, I don't want any decimal. So there we go. Next step is make sure that people can read what's written. So we need to increase the font size. And I'm going to make it a bit larger. So there we go, 16. You can also change the color, make it a little bit darker. And now we need to change our title. So let's go to the title. My title would be, let's see, it's going to be budget progress to date. And I'm going to make it a bit bigger. So now it's nearly ready. Now the last step is adding a card visual to add the total budget. So that's very simple to do. I'm going to add a card and I already calculated the budget. I'm just going to rename my measure to total budget. I'm going to resize so it fits right in the middle of my donut. And I'm going to take the background off. So if I go to the effects, background, turn it off. So I know now it's roughly in the middle. If you don't want to display 6 million with the unit, you can remove that. And it's very simple. You just go to the visual, the callout value, display units, you can add a none. But if you do that, of course, you're going to need to adjust your font size to make sure that it fits within the space you have. For this example, I am going to leave millions. I'm going to increase the size of the font to 45. So there we go. We have now our donut chart showing how much you have spent, how much is remaining, and in the middle we add additional information, which is what is the total budget. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you make use of this visual. Let me know how you go. See you on the next video.